Hey guys, how you doing? Okay. So I know you guys might be a little confused as to why we're looking at the code and why we have a timer here. Oh, who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? You guys remember my old videos? Like my old videos? I think it was the variable video where I made an entire Scratch FNAF Fangame in about like 2 hours or so without using any variables whatsoever. And I thought, well, it's been a long while since I did one of those. And the reason I stopped, if you're wondering, was because I never really found them to be particularly fun. It took me 2 hours to make one single game that obviously it wasn't really even that good. It was not worth making it for 2 hours. I mean, to be fair, those videos did end up being my most viewed videos, but I'm not really that happy with them. But you know what? I figure now that I'm mostly just fine. I'm fine with it. I'm not really demotivated to do those anymore. I figure we do one of those. And the best part is, I do have a solution to my problem of it taking a long time. And of course, as you've probably seen the thumbnail and you've probably read the title, we are going to be speedrunning creating a Scratch FNAF Fangame. Yeah, I don't think this has ever been done before. And if it has been, I guess, I don't care. Anyway, there is kind of one problem though, and that is the fact that Scratch FNAF Fangames are not really speed runnable in the normal sense. Like, they're very loose. A Scratch FNAF Fangame is kind of arbitrary. I don't know how to say it. Essentially, you can make a Scratch FNAF Fangame, and as long as you stick to a few core FNAF principles, like obviously moving characters, having time to go through, like, from 12 to 6 a.m., for example, you stick to those things, you can basically go wild. It's still a Scratch FNAF Fangame, which means doing a speedrun of one, well, it's kind of arbitrary. This is why, for this particular video, for this speedrun, I've set myself a few rules that I have to do at the very bare minimum. You can go over the rules, like if the rules say you have to have 5 characters, you can have 6, you can have 7, but the base requirement is 5. So as long as you do those, it is considered a Scratch FNAF Fangame. So as you can see here on this notepad, I know, top quality editing, top quality live editing. We've got the requirements here. I'll probably just so you guys don't have to look at the notepad. I'll probably just edit it onto the screen. If you want to attempt this speedrun, and this is what I'm going to be doing for this, your game must have at least 3 characters, 2 doors, 1 unique mechanic, 1 night, a full menu, a 6 a.m. screen, and a camera with at least 3 cameras you can go through. Additionally, you'll need to make sure that your game cannot be beaten by doing one simple thing and nothing else the entire night. For example, having doors but no power or any kind of system to counteract that. That way you would be able to just close the doors the whole night with no repercussion. Additionally, you need to make sure in playtest that your game is at least kind of functional. Like I would say at least 90% functional, because if it's too buggy, then I guess it won't really count, because it's broken. Do some bug fixes. As long as you adhere to those rules, it is considered a Scratch FNAF Fangame. I don't really care how you do it, as long as you have these, and you make everything within that time span. So you can't have characters from a different game pulled in. You have to make it in that time span. It counts. It counts. If you have any questions, ask me below in the comments. Okay. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, it's me. Now let's make this quick. Since this has never really been attempted before, I never really had made any sort of set in stone strategy I was following, but I had a few general ideas in place. First of all, my plan here was to really rush out all the models, as you can see right here, as quickly as possible, since I didn't really consider them to be that important. The same thing I just described applies to a lot of other things here, but let's just focus on the footage for now before I go on explaining too much. Okay, there we go. I'm testing it. It does seem to work, except for the fact that it doesn't reappear when you reset the project. But I should be able to fix that right now. As you can see, doot. But I don't want to spend too much time testing it because I have an office to make. So as you can see at this part, I was designing the office, since the menu and models themselves did not really take that long to do. An important thing to note here is I didn't really spend a lot of time on the art at all, since that just takes up time, and in a speedrun, you of course want speed, not, slowness. I tried my best to make everything look decently good so that you can actually tell what you're looking at, but overall I spent very little time on All Start. Alright, I think this should be good. Ooh, 7 minutes. I've just been working on the camera. Okay, so this might take longer than I thought. I went into this thinking I could actually make a game really quickly, but I guess not. I think I'm wasting time though. I gotta focus. Alright, I'm doing good. And hide. Alright, and I think this should be a functioning camera. There we go. Alright, now we gotta make the camera buttons. So as I said earlier, I went into this with no real plans besides a few ideas of what to do. And at this point, it really came back to bite me. I spent way too much time coding on the camera buttons, and all the actual cameras, and just everything relating to the cameras as a whole. If I was more prepared, I could have cut down several minutes. And I do mean several minutes. But, you know, hey, let's just continue on and see what happens. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. That is because I didn't put in go to front layer scripts. That is wasting an extra few seconds. Which in speedrunner terms, in speedrunner terms, that means usually either you win or you lose. A few seconds, a few milliseconds, definitely useful. Alright, there we go. That is the camera done. Gotta figure out all the buttons now. Alright, camera button. I'm gonna have that be the camera value, of course. So whenever this is it, I'm gonna have it repeat until camera equals down. So whenever you have camera up, I'm going to delete this variable, frankly, because I don't need it. Whenever cam up is equivalent to 0, whenever cam up is equivalent to 0, it will stop tracking. Actually, now that I think about it, I can actually just attach it to this, and then have it be running all the time. So right about here is where I made a functional camera with multiple cameras, and now is moving on to the AI and actual characters, and here's where I think I made my biggest mistake. I was really disorganized, and for some reason I made the AI before the actual doors and unique mechanic were implemented, which caused complications, because then I had to just stop working on the AI, make those things, and then go back to the AI, and it just caused a lot of confusion that I could have avoided. There we go. Oh, weird. That's a weird glitch. Oh, that makes sense, because his value is not at 1 right now. We have to change this to 1. We'll set that to, okay, so, how about this? As you can see, message 1, this dictates whenever the night starts. When message 1 equals this, I will, it'll automatically set them to be right there. I'm gonna have a, forever value. It's going to be going from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. 30 seconds, sure, why not? 30 seconds for him. Then it will set it to Droom 2. I'm not going to bother making him appear at the door. Instead, whenever he's just not on the camera, you'll automatically know he's attacking. So then, you'll wait a couple seconds, like, I'll say wait like 5 seconds, sure, 5 seconds, and then after 5 seconds, if door 1 isn't closed, then you die. Anyway, here's me making the doors look ahead, I guess. I don't know what else to say. I just felt like I should say something. So, there you go. But the problem is with this is you can close them. You can just have this. You can just have them all closed and win the game. But no. As you know, there is another rule, which prevents you from doing that. Your game has to be. Your game cannot have any loopholes that make it. Your game cannot have any loopholes that make it possible to beat it without any effort. So basically, I already explained it earlier, so I don't want to spend too much time. So I need to figure out a way to do this. And my thoughts are this. Power. Not just any kind of power, door power. So essentially I'm going to have 2 blocks here. And they're both going to be black. However, once you do this, it's going to be one's going to be red. Essentially, you can only have 2 doors closed at once. If you have 1 door over, then you lose. There we go. And now I just realized we don't even need door power. I just realized it'll just automatically stop you. Wow, that's actually cool. Anyway, you can only close 2 doors at once. That way, you can't just do one thing forever, right? Now, next up, I think at this point, now that we have the doors ready, we want to focus on the AI. Now, we do have one of the AIs, like, somewhat done. Pretty nearly done. However, the problem is, we need to actually, finish setting it up. Making all the AIs here was actually kind of easy, and all I had to do was really change a few variables and copy and paste most of the code. It was a lot easier than I actually thought it would be. But then again, for my unique mechanic, I did decide to do just another door, which is, fun fact, it is allowed. Fun fact, doesn't have to be necessarily unique, just something of your choice. But, yeah, no, I guess I could have just copy and pasted it in that case. So I don't know. Maybe it's not that impressive, but it was easy. Right around here, I made the time, I added indicators to each of the doors, connecting them to each camera so you know which one you have to close, and I ended off with making the game ending screen, which in this case is the 2 AM screen. And done! There we go. It's done. 37 minutes and 20 seconds. And 72 milliseconds if you're that picky. And we finally finished it. So, let's see. Okay, let's go through each of the requirements and see if I met each one of them. To see if this speedrun is actually valid. Let's see. Well, we have our required 2 doors. We have 1 unique mechanic that we can just pretty much make anything we want, so we added another door. So we have 3 doors. That's all the mechanics covered. We have a full menu. We have 1 night, obviously only 1 night, sure. We have a 6 AM screen, which you already saw here. I'll just trigger the thing. It's very simple. We have a camera with at least 3 cam buttons. Check. Our game cannot be beatable by doing one thing and just doing nothing else. Check, because you have to you have to open the doors. You can't have 3 of them close at the same time, that kind of thing. And of course, above all else, I don't think my game has any real glitches. I think it's fine. I think it's too simple to really have glitches. And anyway, yeah. So, what do I think of this? I think this is a pretty fun challenge to do. I encourage you to follow the requirements and do the actual speedrun for yourself. I have no doubt that if anyone attempts this, they're probably going to break this run by a long shot. I think someone's probably going to be able to beat it with 20 minutes instead of, you know, a full 37, maybe even 30 minutes. I don't know. I think this is going to get beaten pretty quickly. But I think this was not really meant to set a record. This was meant to get this out there. I want to see your guys' best attempts at speedrunning, making a Scratch FNAF Fangame. If enough people do it, and if enough people even break my record, maybe I'll follow things up. But anyway, this is just a fun challenge I wanted to show to you guys, because I thought it'd be cool. And without further ado, I think we're done. See ya.